What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? My name is Philip Anglade, and welcome to FXProNow.com. So today, what we're going to be speaking about is it's going to be a chart breakdown, number 35 for USDJPY. And what we do on chart breakdowns is we literally break down the chart of what we've seen throughout the markets. But what I'm going to do as we continue is I'm going to break down the best move of the week. Now, this wasn't my largest move, but as far as this specific one right here, but it was definitely one that I found pretty interesting because it was just so spot on. And if you want more videos, if anything, every single Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have this thing called the Sundays This Week in the Market. Well, what I'll do is I'll break down all my major pairs. And if anything, get on 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single week, every single Sunday, so you'll be able to get access to that. And also remember, every first Saturday of the month, I actually give away 5 one-on-one training to the top 5 commenters of our actual page. So if anything, so you can be able to get what I call a ticket, go ahead and leave a comment of something that you've learned or a question so that you can be able to have one of those tickets and possibly be able to be in the running to win for next month's giveaway. All right, guys, so let's get into the markets right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to break this down as simply as I can. I'm going to go over to the daily chart and just show you the fact that, hey, listen, as you can see here, it's a clear uptrend when it comes to the daily time frame. All right, clear uptrend. Now, there's a point of time where I was kind of in between whether this was going to continue to the upside or if it actually broke structure, right? And what I mean by that is, we'll get into that. But either way, as we can see here, if I was to pull out my Fibonacci retracement tool, and if you don't know how to be able to pull out your Fibonacci retracement tool, you don't really know how to use it, I actually have a course. It's called the You Are the Indicator course, and you can be able to actually look in the description below so you can be able to get all the details on how to be able to actually get access to more information on that. All right, so what I will do is I'll pull out my Fibonacci retracement tool to see, okay, how far would this retrace, and where could it go in the future? So from point A, right here, the first bullish candle of this move, first bullish wick of this move, to the last bullish candle of that move, in this case candle, right? And we see that price retraces to about 61.8%, which is what I call a price reversal zone. It's a major price reversal zone. And I expect price to get into this region right here, which is negative 27% area, as far as long term. Now, the only reason why I was kind of hesitant on this continuing to be a buy is mostly because in the past, there was definitely a major level of resistance for the past, year and a half or something like that, where price had a hard time pushing through. All right. Now, this may still be the case. It may not. It may be the time, if anything, that price will actually break through this time. I guess we'll have to see. So let's go over to the lower time frame and see what's going on here. As we could see here, we saw that price push down, right? And after it pushed down, I got into a buy right here, got those pips, and then price pushed down. I got those pips, I got these pips, and then from there, after price broke structure right here, and then I got into this sell, and I didn't even expect price would continue. Right, so once I saw that price actually broke through this last level of resistance, I'm like, okay, this is a continuation of that uptrend. So, I focused more on the buys, and what I was looking to do is get into a buy once it actually retraced, right? And this was like a clear, like a very simple move, right? So at first, I was on the H4 time frame because I'm like, okay, it broke structure in the H4 time frame. Let me enter in on the H4 time frame. So when I first pulled out my Fibonacci retracement tool, I did it for the first major bullish candle, right? I did it on this one at first, and I was thinking, okay, if I was to go down to a lower time frame, I'd be able to see prices at 38.2. If I was to go to this 1 hour time frame, right, and then it will continue up in this region, right? So I went to the lower time frame, right, and I thought that it was going to push at this point. But then when I actually looked and I scrolled out a little bit, I'm like, man, there's a lot of space here where I could be able to put up my fibs, and a lot of space here as well. So I got out of my buy, especially when I saw price continue to push down after it broke on the lower time frame like the M15. So then I pulled my fibs a little further out, right? And got this entire move. So actually, I want to show you something. So look how it is on the like on the H1. I want to show you on the H4 how it looks clean. You know, it looks okay, right? As far as where my fibs are, right? But then let's go ahead and go to the H1, and you'll see how it looks, right? Now I'm actually going to put my fibs to where it actually should be. Now I'm going to pull this to this all the way at this bottom right here. And I'm going to pull this fibs at the top up here. Now we see, what do we see? We see prices now at 38.2 down here, as opposed to where price was up here, which I'm guessing at one point in time there was a good amount of people around the world that probably put their fibs the same exact way, and that's why price consolidated a bit at this point right here. Maybe it was consolidated around 23.6. Let's see. I didn't really pay attention to that. Not really. It would have been a little different if that was the case. Okay, so we're gonna take that off. So we see that price continue to push to the downside at this point right here, right? So then I went to the H4 time frame to just see, okay, how does it look on that point? And what do we see? We see the fact that now the fibs is all the way at this last point right here, at this last wick from this candle all the way over here to all the way over here. I found it pretty, you know, like just weird because I really don't put my fibs like this, but you know, I kept it just to see what was going on. All right, so let's go down to the lower time frame and see all the details. So now what happened was, if I was to go into this region right here, right? Mind you, I got into so many different positions, but most of them were in this region right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the M15 so that we can be able to see. So what I was looking for mostly, because the thing is, I didn't want to get into a true lot size, like my main lot size at 38.2. I wanted it to retrace a little further before I actually got in, right? Because I just wanted price to, if anything, just retrace to at least 61.8, right? But if it didn't get to 61.8, I wanted price to at least break structure at 38.2, right? And then that's exactly what happened. You see that price, when it comes to the M15, was making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. And this is where I got kind of faked out, because I saw that price did break structure at this point right here, but it wasn't a true placement of my Fibonacci retracement tool. So I got out once I saw that price broke structure again at this point right here, right? And then from there, I saw that again price broke structure, but this was more bullish action than it was over here. So I was like, okay, I feel pretty confident. We see price break structure clean, right? Clean, push. Now, if I was to pull up my fibs here, we need for price to at least push down to at least 38.2 to continue its push to the upside, right? So yes, you can pull out your fibs on the 15-minute. Now, you're not going to be doing it that often, but you can, just to be able to see, what the retracement is like. So what we see here is the fact that price broke structure, right? Now, anytime price breaks structure from a downtrend to an uptrend, what you want to do is you want to get in on the first bullish engulfing pattern on the first higher low that forms, okay? So this is the first one that forms right at 38.2, right? So I actually got in here because that's the rule. We get in on the first bullish engulfing pattern. Then price continued to push down. I didn't get out mostly because it was a clear break of structure. The thing is, price has all the way up until 100%, right? Closing pass, like a candle closing pass at that, like beyond that 100%, for it to be still valid of an uptrend that could form in the future. And what we see here is the fact that price stopped around the 61.8% area, right? If anything, if I put on my 50%, most likely it's right at 50%, right? Just about 50%, right? Area, we see a bullish engulfing pattern form, right? Literally, and if anything, I could probably go into our chat. So if you're not in our Telegram, I would definitely suggest to get into our Telegram so that you can be able to get access to our content. Literally, I was explaining to everybody in here exactly what's going on. So and you can be able to see the time. So at 12:29 Eastern Standard Time, I told everybody exactly what's going on. All right, 12:29. So look at the time. 12:29. I told them, hey, listen, I'm getting into this buy right now, right? And then from there, 4 minutes later, I go a little bit more in depth. I see that the fact that, the bullish engulfing pattern forms, and then another bullish candle forms as well. So on the 30-minute time frame, it looked clean. And then look, literally what? Let me see. So 12:33, I explain it. It took me time to type it, right? So 13 minutes later, boom, boom. Literally had it on point. So it was literally 20 pips within 15 minutes or something like that. And it just kept on going. It just kept on going. And then understand, and I went to sleep, I was good. I woke up with price all the way down here, but I didn't panic. Why? Because the thing is, I understood, okay, if price maintains the same level, man, what the heck? I want to take off these pips. So if price maintains the same level of support, right here, then I'm good. I'm completely fine. And NFP was right after this, and I still kept it with no stop loss, because those stop losses will actually take you out of the market, right? You got to be confident in your trades. Just know that, just imagine this deep retracement right here, and I kept it with no hesitation. Why? Because just pure market structure. This is not going to break structure. This is going up. That's the beauty of understanding pure market structure, how this works. And that's what I go over in our course, where I explain to you that you are the indicator. Nothing else is an indicator. I don't even look at the SMA or EMAs or anything like that. Hardly. The only thing I do is I pull up my Fibonacci retracement tool. I have some support and resistance lines. I'll probably put supply and demand zones from time to time, if I remember. Only in certain situations. I don't really use trend lines like that anymore. Mostly support and resistance lines. And then you can see clean. But I made money all through this. So my account went up 66% this week. Last week, it more than doubled. I forget. It was just about doubled, a little bit more than doubled, and this time 66%. This week, at least in the beginning of the beginning of the week was great. Middle of the week was but closing of the week did very well. And so yeah, guys. So here's the thing: if you have any questions, go ahead and write them in the bottom. If at any point in time you're like, what the heck is he talking about? Tell me, hey, listen, at this time, can you be able to expand? Write down the specific time so that I can be able to see exactly what you're talking about. If you learn something, go ahead and write that down. If you made money on this call in our actual group, let me know. If you need any details as far as how to get into our group, how to get access to any of our content or courses, or anything like that, there's so much detail in the description below where you can be able to get access to everything. If you don't have TradingView, I would definitely suggest to get TradingView. It's very, very important. It's like a carpenter trying to build a house with no tools. What are you gonna do? You need TradingView if you're planning on trading. So you can be able to click on the link below, and you can actually get your first month for free. I use the broker Hugo's Way, mostly because the spreads are very, very small. I never even have to think about spreads anymore. The old broker, I had to think about that stuff. When it comes to depositing and when it comes to withdrawing, very, very quick. Now, right now, they're going through a transition, so mostly what they use is Bitcoin. I really don't mind using Bitcoin at all. Everything is fast for me. There's literally no, commission. And as far as fees in it and stuff like that, there's literally none, to tell you the truth. And everything works very, very fast. Now, if you don't have a way to be able to get Bitcoin, then what you can be able to do is you can also click on the link below and be able to get access to a Coinbase account. And if you use the link below, you can be able to actually get, if I'm not mistaken, I think $10 worth of free Bitcoin, and you can be able to put that in your trading account. So think about that. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can be able to get access to in the description below. Also, you can be able to actually see our schedule of every single week, what we have, and also our social groups. So again, I greatly appreciate your time getting on here, guys, and I will see you if you're going to be on here tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow so that we can be able to actually give away 5 of those one-on-ones. I'm really excited because this course that's going to be November 29th, 2018 is going to be the last course of the actual year. So, you know, it's going to be really fun. And I'm only accepting 10 people this time. Okay, guys, I want to make sure that I can be able to give all my energy to those 10. So again, guys, really appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Let's get it.